We are on the final day. We got 7 players left in the tournament, and we're looking to eliminate another one here with Trump versus SuperJJ. It's going to be single elim from this point on. No more losers bracket. None of that. It's do or die. I think these are the most unique deck lineups in the tournament. Maybe not from the start, but these are the most unique ones left in the tournament, with Trump running the only Warlock, the only Zoo Warlock, and SuperJJ, while his setup does look pretty standard, he has that mid-range Shaman, and from what I remember, his other decks are also a little bit unconventional as well. I believe he's got a Malagos Rogue?
Yeah, the Malagos Rogue is something that JJ's been playing for a while. He's a really big fan of it. I personally think that it's really cool to see him bring some new decks and succeed with it. I think a lot of people always feel like in these tournaments, you have to bring conventional stuff, because if you don't bring them, you're just going to get punished by trying to innovate too much. That's not the case. So far, the slates have been wiped clean. It doesn't matter how you got here, if you got to the lower bracket or the winner. Single elimination is how it is. So this could be Trump's first series loss, and he still has to be eliminated here. It doesn't really matter. So I like that we get to start off clean, and from here we'll see if whether or not his strategy is going to pay off, because once again he runs into an interesting lineup of whether or not he can take out some of these traditional decks with one weird curveball thrown in the Zoo Warlock.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I was very much impressed by the mid-range Shaman. I think we only got to see really one game. I believe he played one game that was against an aggressive Shaman that had I don't know if it was the Dream with the 1 Tunnel Trog or if it was the Dream with the double Tunnel Trog, but basically from what I remember, that was the game where Tunnel Trogs were susceptible to BGH. So yeah, as a mid-range Shaman, there's not too much you could do about that.
Yeah, what happened that game was, I believe his opponent coined a Knife Juggler, hit the Trog, and then hit a 3-mana Overload card, and it just kind of got out of control from there. But then he came back yesterday and was able to make a run through the lower bracket, killing RDU and winning with it against Druid, which is what we anticipated being a stronger matchup in. There's a few matchups, believe it or not, that mid-range Shaman would be great against. One of them is the Druid, where it feels like you can grab really good tempo, just like the good old days. Another one is Control Warrior, if you feel like you have an opportunity to keep toteming up and really seizing control of the board and get value trades. Shaman can definitely give a Warrior a run for its money, but the only semblance of Control Warrior we have is Dragon Warrior, and I'm not sure. Maybe it's still pretty good against it. Who knows?
I feel it would be, but he does have to go through Trump if he wants to showcase that. Trump is not running this Dragon Warrior. He's not even running Dragon Priest. And I feel like the Shaman deck that SuperJJ has brought is quite good against these. His main defense against the Druid decks is that I think he's running Argus and several other taunt minions, and he just buffers his health with these minions and continuous board control. It's really about just starting the board control. So you're never going to beat that Dream Druid draw with the crazy Innervate shenanigans, but you're going to beat most of the mediocre ones. And well, we'll have to see what comes down when the time comes.
Yeah, when you look at Zoo and you look at how good it was in the past at not only dealing with your board with implosions and how inconsistent Lightning Storm was, a lot of the Death Rattles are gone too. Trump instead relies on Argent Squire and a few other interesting cards like Flame Juggler in the Zoo. So he's focusing more on immediate board tempo as opposed to making a very resilient board. It's interesting because maybe the Shaman gets better against that Zoo, because Shaman definitely struggled in the past against it. So it's one of those weird scenarios where, because Shaman has a little bit of early game with the Tuttle Trogs, I don't know, man. JJ might have something up his sleeve here that really people aren't really expecting, and maybe if he wins with it, it makes a stronger statement than anything.
I really want to see that deck succeed. I think it is very successful against most lineups in the tournament. But the more I think about it, when you're talking about some of these card interactions, I think the worse it gets against Trump's lineup. Against the Shaman, he's going to have some issues just getting run over. against the Zoo Warlock. He basically has the hard mulligan for Lightning Storm. I mean, Lightning Storm is the win card, but without Lightning Storm, he's not going to win that game.
Is that 2 Doomhammers in this mid-range Shaman? What?
Well, no, this is Trump's aggressive Shaman.
Oops, I had the POVs flipped. My bad.
Yeah. No, I'm actually not even sure if SuperJJ has Doomhammer.
Right. It's just a theory of whether or not he does. But I would assume that mid-range Shaman still benefits a lot from having some kind of powerful finisher. And if it's not Doomhammer, I guess it's Alakir. If it's not Alakir, then it's Bloodlust? I don't know. It's one of those weird tiers of like, okay, there's very clear like good finishers, and then there's like
he's got the Thunderbluff Valiant, and he's running several of the supplementary totems. So I mean, that could just be a finisher in its own. Looks like Trump's aggro Shaman is pretty well off here. I'm curious if he's gonna go like these are like the top 3 hero powers, aren't they? You got Life Tap, Steady Shot, and Fire Blast as the aggro Shaman.
Yeah, Druid's hero power of Shapeshift, you can make an argument you want that as well.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're pretty much on the spot, or on the money. Fire Blast is really effective as well. It's definitely not as ideal as the Steady Shot, because the Steady Shot is just more direct damage. You know that Shaman doesn't have access to Belcher and Healbot. So again, this Hunter hero power has gotten pretty good. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like the Hunter hero power still remains very good, but the class itself is not being played, nor do people see it as very powerful in this format. But perhaps if they were given time and ability to reflect on those performances, maybe Hunter would make a stronger appearance. I don't know.
Well, it looks like Trump is favoring the Knife Juggler. I feel like this is a play that can go really wrong, though. Like oh man, everything can go really wrong. If you do Feral Spirits, it can just get crushed, and if you do Knife Juggler, and you don't get a juggle on the 3/4, or if the opponent has a buff, you also get crushed.
Yeah, I guess this is your best shot of
It just has to hit a minion here. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, just not face, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another Totem Golem is up for Q here, as well as the possibility of Earth Shocking with the...
Yeah, I think with Earth Shock, yeah. I think with Earth Shock. The Earth Shock saves 2 damage. It gets removed on another minion, and it saves your 1/1. And the 1/1 isn't that great, but there are a lot of granular minions that need to die.
Right. Wolf Riders being a 3/1, or, you know, Argent Horse Riders.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, it might be like a minion which gets a buff off of Flame Tongue Totem if JJ picks one up, or if he summons one through the Tuskar Totemic.
The Tuskar Totemic, you'd have to place it in between here. But, you know, experienced Shaman players, they're spot on with their positioning. And he does!
Goodness.
Instant payout there.
Yeah, and he also can keep his Totem Golem by Lightning Bolting. Or actually, do you want to keep the 3/1 for the positioning? Maybe?
Yeah, I think the positioning is relevant here. Yeah, it is probably going to get punished, but being punished with a Rock Biter used as your whole turn. Oh, and it doesn't even get punished. Wow, I really thought he would Rock Biter there.
This is so good for JJ now. He can trade, play the Totem Golem, and then have a pretty good board. I guess the only thing that he wanted to use to complete it would be like Taunt Totems from this point onwards. Oh, 1 mana overload for Trump means he can't play the Doomhammer.
The worst part is you have to play the Rock Biter here, I think. It's just going to get so out of control.
Yeah, well, this is how Shaman raced in the past against aggro. It would be Flame Tongue, and then just pushing more and more.
What to do?
There's maybe an argument to just go face with the 2/1 and just try to erase this board, but I don't think you can win if you do that. I think that's just so optimistic. I think that's what Trump is thinking about. Like, can I win if I just go face from here on out?
Well, next turn you have access to 10 damage. The following you would have 6. So, and if you can do the Argent Horse Rider, that's 8. So that's 18 damage total I can count over 2 turns. I don't know. So it looks like he chooses to kill off this. Tries to go face, and he's gonna have to hope that Shaman just draws blanks. Because one thing is, mid-range Shaman doesn't really have access to a lot of card draw.
Oh wow, that card is real
card.
serious, by the way.
There is a lot at
This is when the game starts ending quickly.
Yeah, that's like Flame Tongue Totem on crack.
Yeah.
Because these totems will gain +2 attack every single turn you hero power, and on summon, those minions get attack as well. Look at that, just all face it. You know, screw it. You're trying to, figure out good optimal trades. I'm just gonna go very aggressive.
Yeah, Trump is under such ridiculous pressure. We saw him take the Hunter hero power, but I believe he's used it 0 times. I don't even know if he's going to get a chance to until he dies.
He needs the Ragnaros hero power, the Thorson hero power that happens when you kill his wife Moira.
Yeah,
it does like 30 damage to face. How do you even stabilize this? Are you gonna hit the Thunder Bluff and try to kill it?
It's suicide, but I don't see what else you can do.
I wonder.
You can try to draw out an answer, but I mean, still you have to get very lucky for that.
So you hit it once with Doomhammer, and then you put the Horse Rider in, Lightning Bolt to hit face. Put him at 23. You already used 1 Rock Fighter though. I don't know. I'm definitely not liking Trump's chances to close out this game.
No, there's this looks pretty doomed.
He even clears a 1/1 token. I'm interested in that.
Well, he might be thinking that with the Doomhammer and the card draw, he has a lot more weight to his hand than SuperJJ might, even though SuperJJ is playing the slower deck. But looks like that isn't even the case.
Yeah, not really. That Feral Spirits was pretty big. Oh, he's gonna have another Ancestral Knowledge, but just needs a little bit more. He just needs more health and more time, but he doesn't have really either.
He attacks a 2/3, he's gonna die. Yep, and that's gonna be it. SuperJJ is gonna clean up once again with mid-range Shaman, and this was the deck that, not in general, but against Trump's lineup, I was a little bit worried for SuperJJ.
Worry not, Kripparrian. You have the mid-range Shaman in good hands. SuperJJ has a winning record, like a pretty convincing one too. I mean, he also won the lower bracket, so right now the Shaman's been 3 wins and I think 1 or 2 losses. So yeah, overall being a positive win rate, having a very strong showing indeed. Something that again we weren't anticipating, but it's a cool storyline. And even if he drops here, it's one of those things where you don't really attribute the Shaman to the downfall. You have to look at Rogue and Druid as being more liable than anything.
Well, I was pretty happy with SuperJJ's Druid. I'm not as confident in Malagos Rogue as he is. I kind of see it as maybe a little bit more inconsistent than some of the other rogues, and I think inconsistency is a very bad factor against aggressive decks. But he did pilot the deck very well yesterday, and we at least have faith in that. Speaking of good decks, though, Trump's Warlock is undefeated in the tournament. I believe it's a 2-0 record, just swept both times.
Yeah, at least as far as we've seen. But well, we'll see if things go according to plan. We don't have that Warlock just yet. Trump gonna stay on the Shaman, trying to catch SuperJJ's Druid deck. Once again on the coin, no Tunnel Trog, but he does have Sir Finley to start things off. And that allows him to use the coin flexibly, so that way he can use Abusive Sergeant or a Lightning Bolt to follow it up.
Oh, this Druid hand. Wow, same 3! What is this?
Not only is it the same 3, I think it's the same 3 in that specific order.
Oh, that has to be very unlikely. That would add...
It's kind of like Rafam.
Six permutations, right? So that would be like a 3% on that happening. It's not bad.
It's like the Archthief Rafam card where you get the same 3 in the same position every single time. maybe there's a tournament mode, Sir Finley Mergleton, where you just have to play the tournament card, and they give you the 3 best ones. And
That coin hero power on turn 2. You know there's something degenerate with a deck when that happens.
Well, you also, I mean, it's pretty correct if you look at his hand. Like, he has all 3 mana plays, so you'd rather just get the damage out now. It is pretty humorous, though, that he's using it now and not, like, for a coin follow-up Feral Spirits on the following turn. But I think he feels comfortable that he'll pick up a 2 mana play for next turn. So.
Well, who needs Feral Spirit when you can face?
What do you do here if you're JJ? Do you start cleaning up with your removal spells, or do you play Tempo onto the board?
I like the Wrath play. I think you're going to get a better swipe throughout the game. I like Wrathing on a 2/3. I like just trading to the other and hero powering.
He's going to swipe to clear. Completely rational here. And is that a Worgen Infiltrator? That's not.
Yeah, that's a great 1-drop.
Yeah. Let you trade into anything with 2 health, like a Knife Juggler. Really threatens it, and I mean, what do you even really do if you have a Knife Juggler? You probably end up playing it. So you probably end up hero powering actually because you have the 100 hero power. Would you play Leopard Gnome, or would you hero power here?
Yeah, it is tough. I think I probably would have hero powered, but I have no objection towards any of these plays here. The Leopard Gnome puts out a little bit extra tempo, and that's always very good. Oh, and that Azure Drake is very, very good. Getting a redraw is going to start you off to actually drawing some more actual cards. Oh, and there's an actual card, Savage Combatant.
Followed by a Savage Roar on the other turns. This is looking like an opportunity for JJ to find another win. If you can stop Trump right here. Trump's starting to piece the damage together, though. Very slowly but surely.
And these are just not high damage cards, though. There's no Lava Burst, there's no Doom Hammers, so he's got a lot of direct damage cards, but he's a bit short, and it looks like he's going to run out of steam before he's going to complete the 30 life cycle here.
5, 9, 11, 19 with a Savage Roar. Assuming all those minions survive. So not exactly the 2-turn lethal setup that you should be afraid of if you're Trump, but you still don't want to take too much damage. The problem with Lava Shock here is that it only frees up 2 more mana, so it basically pays for itself for free. The Lava Shock might as well cost 0. And it doesn't really make your play that much better. Oh,
it does a little bit. I think the play here would be 1 or 3 drop chargers and maybe an Earth Shock on the 2/1.
I think you want to get it past the taunt minion, though.
Oh, you think
I
so?
think the 2/1 represents...
Wait for the Ancient of War.
Yeah, or Druid the Claw. Just like something that Druid will probably put up inevitably. That is a lot of power to the 2 Savage Combatants. The 5 attack Druid. What? It's like you just use Bite for free. Well, not for free, for 2 mana, but...
Well, no, you still got the hero power. You got the +1 and then +1 armor for the hero power. It's very much like you got Bite for free. Well, except for the armor.
Yeah, it's just a proper analogy though. It's like you get so much damage, just by the effect of it.
Well, at this stage, as the shaman, you're playing as if you have certain draws coming right up. He has to clear a little bit because he's dead if he doesn't. Well,
is he trading
turns
at all,
out he's dead anyway.
Yeah.
I believe he has to go face. Like, you have to assume a certain amount of risk playing this shaman deck, and the more and more you get behind, the more and more risk you have to assume. So Trump is making extremely risky plays, but I think it's very hard to disagree with any of them.
Pretty fair, but the big story is that this aggro shaman from Trump is down 0-2, and SuperJJ 1 game away from going to the semifinals, making a deep run with his unusual lineup. Let's see if his rogue can once again keep up the momentum here.
Is Malagos rogue though?
It is Malagos rogue, but you give 3 tries to it, so surely there's a chance for it to win a game.
There is no surely in Hearthstone. We've seen that time and time again. Even today, even yesterday, there's no for sure. I mean, I thought for sure Saviz was out of the tournament earlier, and then no, not quite. Not quite. Looks like he advanced. I thought for sure Life Coach couldn't come back and do 2-3-0 sweeps after being down 0-2, and 3 hours later he did that.
3 hours later. Yeah. You mean just an hour ago? He finished his two reverse sweeps? Yeah.
It's just over.
Turn 1 play from the Shaman, pretty big and valuable. That's just the difference between being able to get a lot of damage, but no follow-up play. So, a little unfortunate. Rogue is on the coin, though. That gives an opportunity to coin SI7 agent to answer this Leper Gnome.
Yeah, very reasonable play here. I feel this is just a very tough matchup for Rogue. I think Miracle Rogue, the main thing that it needs is time to come up with a lot of draw and a lot of its combo potential. And the one thing that the Malagos Rogue is different with is it's slightly slower. So it has it has less of that. It needs more time to actually do stuff. And this Shaman deck is just going to apply so much pressure before the Rogue can get things going. And I have my doubts that it'll be enough. Wow, very, very passive play here from Trump. I thought we would see a Wolf Rider face for sure.
Yeah, I was expecting something along those lines. I think he just didn't want to get punished by a very simple spell that Rogue has to eliminate it. But by playing so passive, you give Rogue time to recover off of their use of the coin, for example. Like, Rogue wants to set up a dagger, so that way they can inevitably Blade Flurry.
Well, here's a question. Are you ever going to get a better Wolf Rider than this one behind a Taunt Totem? I guess not. I guess it's Wolf Rider in time.
Yeah, Archon Horse Rider has a much higher success of surviving multiple turns. Plus, it's turn 4, so if he wants a Feint of Knives, it's going to be inefficient for him. I think that was the best time in the Wolf Rider, like you said. Eviscerate
a 1-2.
Frog. My god.
I approve, though. I mean, it seems good to me.
Yeah. But, I mean, that's right there, the hammer to kill a gnat. Jesus. I mean, it's just a pending threat of what the Trog can do. It can grow so fast and so large that you have to take it very seriously. And when it's at the 2 health, you don't have the guarantee of another SI. You can't really backstab it, so...
Alright, well, with SuperJJ... Oh, I was just going to say, if he gets Doomhammer, he's going to get destroyed.
Put him down 13.
Oh, that's true, it is 13.
Oh, sorry, he's got...
Yeah, I mean, 13 and quite a lot of damage in hand. This insane card draw might be all for nothing here.
Oh my goodness. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's still a pretty good amount of cards. He's likely to pick up his Farseer. Yeah, I just need that second Gadget Stand.
All right. Well, how much damage is this? This is 9 total.
How much damage does JJ have on the other end? He's got 9 plus a flurry. That is
no prep though. Like all the damage that he's doing is gonna be very slow and gradual.
Right. That's a good point. Trump going for the greedier mana usage. I mean, he could have definitely totemed and Lava Shocked, but then he would have been stuck with the 2 overloads for the following turn.
Oh, he is gonna do a Blade Flurry. I thought he would do a Thalnos Fan.
It's just more damage because the Thanos Fan doesn't necessarily guarantee a board clear on the 2-1, so you might as well just go at full damage.
Okay. Alright, well, Trump needs to come up with 4 damage. Ooh, that is not it. Wow.
4 damage is pretty awkward. Does he now he's forced to Lava Burst a minion to stay in the game. I suppose you.
Yeah, but if you, yeah.
Do you
So
Lava Burst Harrison or the Drake?
I think you hope for a Taunt Totem and Lava Burst face.
Wow.
I think that's the level of risk that we're at right now.
Well, I think the game might just be over. Trump's going to Lava Burst Harrison for the guaranteed damage removal, but Drake is just as good at parrying damage, if not more, because Rogue has so many spells.
He actually has no spells that do damage right now, I believe.
Right. But how does he know that?
Oh, man.
Fan.
Shiv.
Yeah? Or you can Farseer to put
No,
yourself.
I like Farseer. Yeah, I like Farseer.
The only chance that you lose. Oh, this is cute. I like this.
He's gonna go for the Eviscerate Lethal. That's a great play.
Did he get it?
got it! He got it!
Sick. Oh my God.
Rewarded!
SuperJJ with the super sexy plays.
Excellent stuff. Well, Trump has been swept. But Zulok is still undefeated in the tournament, and the next time we will know, Zulok is the deck to bring.
Yeah, it's one of those things too that we were saying on JJ's side. It's like if he lost the series, it's not because the Shaman's fault. And if Trump lost the series, it certainly wasn't his Zoo Warlock. It seemed like he got the short end of the stick a couple of times, and definitely with some of his conservative approaches did not pay off, as JJ was able to really out-tempo him. Really good stuff overall from SuperJJ. Yet another deep tournament run when people weren't really expecting him to perform well. So, I mean, the question remains, how many times is this guy going to continue to do well with unusual decks and lineups until he really gets noticed? It's one of those shames, but I think it's starting to slowly turn the public's opinion here.
Hopefully. He will be pinned up against Saviz in the semifinal later today. But before we head into the semifinals, we still have some quarters to deal with. We got Strifecrow versus Ostkaka coming up for you guys. And to follow, it will be G2 teammates Life Coach and Tice battling it off for that other semifinal. Yeah, should be pretty fun.
Yep, that's right. And we're going to take a break just to reset ourselves and get ready for the third quarterfinal. Before we do, we want to thank our sponsors at Geek Fuel, Curse Network, Hearthpwn, as well as Innkeeper.com. Check that out. It's a tool to help you with your collection manager for everything in Hearthstone. When we come back, we're going to have our third quarterfinal. So don't go anywhere. More Curse Trials continues right after this break.